Embla Books presents Going for Two, written by Wiegand and read by Shannon, Nicole, Locke and Sam Stafford. Lottie's Bucket List. 1. Find a spark with someone by the end of the year. Get some action. 2. Kiss someone at midnight on New Year's Eve. 3. Have a real family Thanksgiving with no work. 4. Watch the sunrise from the best view and not from my car on the way to work. 5. Go sledding to make up for all the times I never got to as a kid. 6. Wear matching Christmas PJs with the people I love. 7. Have a day where you say yes to everything. Chapter 1. Lottie. I was about 10 seconds away from downing my third glass of champagne of the evening. The buzz from the alcohol was the only thing keeping me from wielding the salad fork in front of me against yet another man who had managed to corner me at my table. Weddings were already one of my least favorite experiences, seeing as I was one of the last of my old friend group to still be single, and I was getting further from 30 with every passing day. Pair that with men seeking me out to talk about my new job as the in-house physical therapist for the Chicago Bobcats, and you have a less than enjoyable experience. The amount of mansplaining I had to endure over the past few hours should qualify me for some kind of compensation. Nolan Hill should have retired after last year. There's no way he will be able to lead this team with the injuries he has at the caliber the league has gotten to. The man, Todd, I think, told me, as if I hadn't pored over the medical files of every player on the team this past week and wasn't likely to be more familiar with the quarterback's ailments than him. He's keeping the rookie they just drafted from getting some experience under his belt. My head moved up and down involuntarily as my body slipped into cruise control. It was a habit I had to learn early on in my career, whenever I found myself being talked down to by someone who had way less authority on the subject than me. The last thing I wanted to experience today was someone named Todd, trying to school me on the very thing I'd spent years surrounded by. So it was better to just let him get his opinions off his chest. It's selfish to stick around for another year just to try and go out on a high note. The odds of him winning a third Super Bowl at the pace he went last year are slim. Todd's high school football state championship ring flashed on his finger and had me fighting the urge to roll my eyes. He's more likely to set the record for most sacks in a season if we have another repeat of last year. I could easily tell him how the NFL was full of the best medical professionals in the world, which now included myself. But I knew that would only open me up to more uneducated responses and skepticism. I could tell him that Nolan Hill had one of the quickest reaction times from snap of the ball to release of his throw ever recorded in league history. Or I could tell him that, of course, the Bobcats would stick with their 2-time Super Bowl quarterback, even if he'd been plagued with injuries late in his career. But everyone's an expert when it comes to professional sports. My hand inched closer to the fork on the table in front of me, but the sound of a high-pitched voice had me snatching my hand back into my lap. A sigh escaped through my lips. That voice wasn't the saving grace I had been hoping for. That voice symbolized me jumping from one boiling pot of water into another. Charlotte, I had no idea you'd be here. Vera Bush.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?